Hi there, everyone. Welcome into the Kumo Theater. We're going to get started now. Our next guest is coming to us from MicroStrategy. He's got a presentation for you, so please feel free to give a huge round of applause to Moises Cosio Cardona and welcome him to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, first of all, thank you for being here with MicroStrategy. I hope you're learning as much as we are learning in AWS reInvent. Today is the last day. It feels bad, but finally we learned a lot of things. The first thing that I want to know is how many of you actually have worked with MicroStrategy? Perfect. You're using the tools? Perfect. Not a lot of people, though. Now, the important question is, how many of you need to make decisions based on data in a couple of minutes in your company, in your teams, in your families, in your financials? How many of you do you need to drive data decisions based on data? Perfect. Everyone, right? That's exactly what we're doing in MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is a single platform that is going to allow you to bring all the data from different sources and blend the data and get everything in the single place. So we have a very simple vision around the company. We want to bring intelligence everywhere, right? We want to give you an environment, give you the ability to actually make decisions from the data that you have in different sources and around the globe, right? If you heard today in the morning, Werner's 5 pillars, the first pillar is data, right? We want to make sure that you can get the data in your fingertips and you make decisions immediately. In MicroStrategy, we have 4 main pillars that we are going to be driving in terms of these decisions. The first thing is we want to be able to show you the data so you can discover immediately, access the data in a couple of seconds, drive the business definitions around the data from here. And the second pillar that we have is we want you to be able to analyze the data, make calculations on the fly. If you want to create a new metric that you don't have in your data sources, you can immediately create it in seconds, right? And we recently introduced a new storyteller. If you heard the keynote in the morning, the most important thing around the world right now is to be able to tell a story, right? And the most important thing is once you are analyzing the data, you need to tell the story for everyone in your teams, in your community, in your firms, right? We introduced a new concept that we call the MicroStrategy dossier. And these dossiers, you have a table of contents. It's like a book, right? Everyone knows how to read a book. You go immediately to the table of contents. You immediately read what the book is around, which topics are going to cover. That's what we have in MicroStrategy. In just 5 minutes, you can drive the intelligence around your team. And finally, once you have your book already created, that you can create it in a couple of minutes, we have collaboration tools that is going to allow you to immediately interact with every single person in your team and say, hey, these numbers look wrong, they look bad, they look too high. If you are making a new financial report for your CFO, the first couple of chapters might be the regional data about the revenues, right? The second chapter might be what is the profit that you are getting across different sections in the company, right? And these chapters are going to have different pages. So that's what we do right now in MicroStrategy. I want to stress the fact we saw hundreds of vendors today in our sessions, right? I want to stress the fact that MicroStrategy is not just an analytics company like any other company that we have around the market. We can connect to 80+ different data sources around the globe, right? So what this means in reality is like the number looks awesome and the images look great, but what it means is like if you have data in S3, you can use any tool from Amazon, right? But if you have data in a relational database, you won't be able to connect to it. And if you have data in a different data lake, you won't be able to merge everything together. With MicroStrategy, we have a single platform that is going to allow you to connect to everything, bring the data to the server, blend the data in a couple of seconds, and get the reports immediately. That's the difference that we can get with MicroStrategy. So this definitely comes with a little bit of a cost, right? We have a huge, beautiful enterprise that can produce results in a couple of minutes, but we have multiple servers, multiple services, multiple tools. So we took an awesome approach a couple of years ago, and we partnered with Amazon and started migrating these services to the cloud. And the team that we have right here in the conference actually made an awesome job to start migrating all the services to the cloud. So what we can have right now is customers can deploy the environment in a couple of minutes, get started with MicroStrategy literally in 5 minutes. Before you were able, you needed to go provision a machine, configure everything, spend weeks or probably months to try to get everything from IT. So we are leveraging all the services that we get from Amazon and create an environment for you that you can get in a couple of minutes. With this, no more talking, no more images. Let me do a quick demo of what you can do with MicroStrategy. This is the MicroStrategy on AWS login page. With literally, you can sign up entering just your email account and your password. Let me log in right now so you can see how it's going to look like. Immediately, this is like the administrator page, but the first thing that you're going to get once you get into the environment is going to give you a create environment option, right? And with this option, it's going to give you 3 different editions. If you have you no longer need to start thinking, oh, how many machines I'm going to need, or what are the services I'm going to deploy, if I need to run reports or not. We have 3 simple offerings. If you want to save some money, just deploy a team edition that is going to give you single machine, behind the scenes. At the end of the day, we can answer any questions on what are the things that we're deploying behind the scenes. The department edition, if you have a team that is larger and you want an RDS that is going to be hosting the metadata that is the heart of the environment, holding your reports, your dashboard, all that. Or if you want high availability, cluster, multi-region, multi-availability zone, an RDS with high availability enabled, you just have to click right here and we create everything for you. In this case, let me just show you, for $200 a month, you can get everything in a single environment. So literally what you need to do is create an environment. You can just say AWS reinvent, select the operating system that you're going to use, right, for your environment. We actually immediately released Amazon Linux for you because we know that, number 1, you're going to save a lot of money, right? Number 2, you're going to be able to integrate directly with Amazon. If you need to bring additional interfaces, additional things to the servers, you're going to be able to do it directly from your Amazon account. You can pick whatever MicroStrategy you want to deploy. We can talk with you about the latest versions that we have. In this case, let's pick 10.9, for example. We can deploy in any region, obviously, with Amazon. The size of the machines that you want to use. If you want to scale up and down, you can do it after the fact with our tools. You don't need to log in anymore. If you want to process this information and give it to a different team that is going to be doing the administration of the environment, you can actually do it from the console. That's it, pretty much. 7 different clicks that you need to do to create an environment. And here, in general, what is going to happen is for you, that you don't have administrator privileges, you're going to see the environment that you are creating for different teams, right, and different solutions. So what is going to happen behind the scenes is like you're going to see immediately that we are going to start deploying the CloudFormation template. And we have a lot of automation behind the scenes that is going to leverage every single service that we have in Amazon to just in a couple of seconds bring up the servers, create the EC2 instances, connect everything together, configure the environment for you, and share it immediately with your users, right? After just a couple of minutes, you're going to get an environment that is up and running, fully connected. You don't have to do anything after you've clicked the create environment. In MicroStrategy, we are a data-driven company, right? And we always want to run benchmarking across our solution. In the past, if you wanted to get a solution like this, that is like an enterprise analytics solution, you needed to do at least 300 different actions across multiple teams. When I call action, it's like clicks around installation, configuration, et cetera, et cetera. With these now serverless options that are configuring everything, you just literally have to do 7 actions. So we are improving every single time with the new services with Amazon, these kind of things. Let me log in this new environment. I created a Fitbit user already to start the demo. So this is how MicroStrategy looks like for you. If you have any data anywhere, it's going to look like this. You have a canvas that is pretty empty. You can get the data from anywhere. The only thing that you need to do is get new data, and you get presented immediately with all the data sources that we have available for you. All these data sources are actually out of the box. You don't need to configure anything. We have the drivers already installed, already configured, ready for you to use. You can connect, as I said, big data, Hadoop, regular data sources like SQL Server, Oracle. We can connect to Salesforce, for example, if you want to get all your financial data from there. And at the end of the day, we also have fun, nice extensions that is going to allow you to connect to social media sources, community sources, and you can create your own SDK connections. In this case, I just created a connection to the Fitbit data, right? And immediately, Fitbit is going to allow you to connect to the APIs and get the data directly from there. In this case, I can check, for example, the steps that I've been doing across. You know that every single hotel is at least like 30 minutes away, so you just need this, right? We can count the steps immediately. Let's see how it's going. Let's say last 30 days. We are connecting right now live to the Fitbit servers, bringing the data and presenting the data for you. If you need to make any changes, you can do it on the fly. This looks like steps is not an attribute, right? It's just like the number. So it's more like a metric. Let's see what data type is. Fitbit is returning steps as a string, right? So let's change it to a double. And then it's definitely not an attribute. It's not text. It's not text. It should be a number. So let's put it in a matrix. Just drag and drop it. Pretty much you have ready your raw data. You wrangle it. You can keep working with it. At this point, you can just click Finish. We connect, bring the data. It's ready for you to create a solution. If you see what you have is, let's say, how many steps I'm doing per day. Let's count this in the metric. Perfect. So it took me literally 3 minutes to create everything end-to-end, from the environment solution to the report. This doesn't even look good. You cannot get any sense from here. So let's change it to a line graph. Perfect. You can immediately see what has been the performance from my Fitbit on the number of steps. As you can see, in these last couple of days, the conference put me around 22,000 steps, right, across different hotels. So this is immediately the actions that we want you to take. I would like to close the presentation with just 2 main things that we want to highlight from here. The end-to-end demo is literally covering analytics solution, an enterprise analytics solution that you can bring to your company, to your teams in a couple of minutes, right? Before we started the demo, we didn't have any solution around the analytics. After these minutes, you can immediately create reports from any single data source that you have in the world. Number 1. Number 2, we want to embed you directly to our 31st, right now running in Amazon. With this conference, we are creating a 30-day free trial exercise. So if you go directly to the MicroStrategy website, you can get a license for free for 30 days to test the environment. We're not going to charge anything for the MicroStrategy license. Please take a picture. Yes, right there. Go directly to our website. Check out MicroStrategy. We are in booth number 120. And we're going to be around for a couple of questions. We have the Amazon experts. I'm the product manager of MicroStrategy. Thank you very much for coming.